What's good, Ravens fans? It's your boy JG, and we are back in the Ravens space with another reaction. Today, we're reacting to Ian Rapoport talking about Ravens injuries and Lamar Jackson. Let's get it going.
Jackson. I saw the Ravens with my own two eyes and called the game with my own voice.
Game of the weekend?
I saw it right in the middle of two classics. I had that middle sandwich. And man, do they need him. And now Devin Duvernay is out. Their receivers haven't caught a touchdown pass since week 3. And they got Sammy Watkins back. So they need Lamar. I mean, in the worst way. What's the scoop with him right now?
They need Lamar. And, this was the week, based on the people I've spoken with, that the Ravens expected Lamar back. I mean, it's 1 to 3 week injury. It's a PCL, which, sometimes can take a little longer than maybe some other injuries. But, they thought he would be back. And we'll see today. Maybe he's back at practice today. If they've had practice, they have not seen it. But otherwise, I think this would be a little surprising. Lamar had an ankle injury last year.
Lamar shouldn't play. Lamar, do you not come back? And I want to win. Don't come back till you're healthy. 1, 2. Dang, you guys have done a good job. See, I do read the comments, right? And you guys know I was on John Harbaugh's side. But I listen to you guys, and you guys' ideas do get into my head, and I think maybe they're right. And the more I think about it, John Harbaugh, you built the team this way. Go win a game. You, John Harbaugh, go win a game where the defense has prepared for your quarterback. I don't want to hear that you won against the Broncos, who can't score, and they prepare for Lamar Jackson all week. And then, your other QB, whatever. Go win a game against a team that is good. And again, the Falcons aren't good, but, go win a game. And without Lamar, you get us into the playoffs with your team that you built with all the injuries because, the other coach, sorry, that's on you. Because Lamar has given us everything. And all the wins except for one is strictly because how great can Lamar be right now? That's every single drive. When it's the fourth quarter, okay. How great can Lamar be right now? And it's BS, and I don't like it. Lamar, don't come back until you're fully healthy.
Did not end up returning from it. And, from this one, maybe a little slower than they anticipated. There's nothing wrong here. It's just, they need him badly. He is, it's funny. It's like his value is going up as he doesn't play. On the other hand, they really would just like him to play and just be awesome again. So we'll see when that happens. I think the Ravens are going to be okay, but certainly you'd like to see Lamar Jackson out there.
Well, because Calais Campbell and Marcus Peters are out too, right? They're not coming back either, it seems, for the moment.
Yeah, I think those guys, that's probably 2 week injuries, which, you get to this time of year, and the only injuries are they back for the playoffs or not? So if those are 2 week injuries and there's not much to play for, we may see them again in the playoffs, and that's it.
So it's
and you know what I gotta say? Marcus Peters, I don't think likes John Harbaugh. Calais Campbell, I think, likes a lot of people. Marcus Peters doesn't think likes him. Hey, John, you need to win 2 games. You can't beat the Bengals without your best players. I get that. You got to be able to beat the Falcons. If you're a playoff team, you got to be able to beat the Falcons. And you got to be able to beat the Steelers again, right, in Baltimore. So if you call yourself a playoff team, you got to be able to get that done.
It's like, let's see if Lamar practices today. Because, again, today is like a Thursday for a regular season week. Because the Ravens, pretty much everybody but, I guess, let me get the number right, 10 teams play on Saturday this week. And so this is it. I mean, this is rubber meeting the road. And in all honesty, though, I mean, value for down the line, that's down the line. They need him back now. I mean, that team had base, and Dobbins had a rest day yesterday. He looked good, and he said he's going to get his burst back, and he could be the answer. But Lamar, they got to have him. They got to get him.
Yeah, they got to get him, and they got to win. But then they also need to win the playoffs. So if it's a strategic, he's almost ready. We'll just rest him. That's fine. It's all fine. I mean, I think the Ravens are going to be in the playoffs regardless. You just want to make sure that there's nothing. And John Harbaugh wears his sort of emotion /
Don't let Lamar, don't let them rush you back. One. John Harbaugh, you need to win these games. You need to coach your tail off, and you have to win these games. Because do not rush. Even, to be honest, guys, even what they're doing to J.K. Dobbins, I think is criminal. I think it's criminal for a guy to come back off of surgery, and the first game you ask him to get 100 yards for you. I don't think that's right, especially since you built, again, we preach team. We preach this and we preach that. And it comes down to it, guys. This game is about the Jimmies and the Joes. And the Ravens ain't nothing without the Jimmies and Joes, like most teams. But also, most teams don't pretend it, right? You can say whatever you want about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, and there's a lot you can say about him. Trust me, But he knows it's about those players. He knows that, and he doesn't pretend like it isn't. I know he thinks he's smart and smarter than everyone else, but he knows if I want to win football games, I gotta get these players a chance to be great, and he knows that. And we don't. I don't think we know that. I think we can out scout and out coach people. And then when they take Lamar Jackson off the field, we're looking around like no one else is executing. No, dog. It's that your scheme is terrible, and you've only been winning football games at a high level. Because even before Lamar Jackson, guys, we were winning football games, but we weren't ever the number one seed. Being the number one seed is a new thing for the Ravens, right? People calling us the best team in the AFC is a new for the Ravens. We would get in and have to win role playoff games, right? The Steelers would win the division most of the time, but we would come in as this is new, and Lamar Jackson's the reason, and let's not pretend.
Thoughts on his sleeve. He does not seem exactly thrilled with where the state of injuries are in his team. Said right at the start, I'm not talking about it. That was not a great sign because there's a reason for him not to talk about it, apparently. So we'll see if he practices today. That will be very telling as far as whether or not Lamar will be back.
Catch the Rich Eisen show.
Okay, all right. We got you, Rich Eisen. Thank you. That was a quick one, guys. Lamar, rest up because we're going to need you against the Bengals. If I'm Lamar, I come back Bengals week. To be 100% honest with you, I come back Bengals week. And I say, John, you gotta, your record without me, John, is a losing record. I need you to pick up your slack now, okay? I've been carrying you, John. I need you to pick up the slack now, and you need to get us to the finish line, right? Because it's, you can say a lot of things about John. I think he's a winning coach. But it's fair to say that there was a time after Ray Lewis and before Lamar Jackson where the Ravens did not have an identity. And we're not